I don't remember the last time that I was so excited for such a small transformer. Because it's this guy. This is going back in time a bit. It's Titans Return Ramhorn. Now, a few years later, not to mention I managed to score the guy at cost. I can't wait to take a look at this guy. Actually, this duo. I'll explain what I mean when we dive into the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe. While you're at it, light them up, baby, and hit that notification bell. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, Transformers Collectors NL, the Autobot family, Transformers vs. G.I. Joe vs. DC Universe vs. Marvel, and all of my social media links all down in the description below. If you want to help the channel, you can always use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring. A lot of lines there, man. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. And this is the Titans Return Ramhorn. Now, I missed the Fall of Cybertron Ramhorn, and I missed this guy because he never came out in my neck of the woods. I can recall looking for him in earnest. I can recall Starscream wife would call me when she'd be out and say the names of all the Titan Masters, and I had them all. This guy never did show up, and I saw them go on clearance, and they went, and nope, never did show up here. Lo and behold, friend of the channel, Paul, set me up with this guy. And I couldn't be happier because I wanted to have some representation of Ramhorn, and while a cassette would be nice, I kind of dig the versatility that this guy has and sort of matches his, flying into battle with reckless abandon sort of attitude. But we actually get technically two characters here. I'll explain what I mean when we head over to the table and take a closer look at these guys. Do you remember 2016, 2017 and Titans Return? I sure do, and I remember what I didn't get from that line. And I got pretty much the whole line because I thought it was kind of brilliantly done. And of all the Titan Masters, the one I wanted the most was this guy, Ramhorn, and he's the one that, of course, I didn't get. Huge shout out to Paul for hooking me up with this, at cost, no less. So I really appreciate it with it. I really appreciate him with helping me with this. We'll look at, I guess, the packaging. And so here's the packaging. It's pretty generic packaging. You'll notice that we do have a picture of a head down here. Apparently that head is concept art for a character named Rhinoceros that was going to be one of the headmaster warriors who were basically young headmasters in training to become fully fledged headmasters, but he never got past the stage of being concept art. So it's kind of a nice nod to put that character sorta in with Ramhorn. So technically you have Ramhorn and Rhinoceros here. And here's the head up close, painted very nicely, sculpted very nicely, and of course he transforms like any Titan Master where you just flip out the legs so that he looks like this. He's pinned at the hip and the knee. He can get in a seated position. The arms can go around. And, that's about it. The head, it can move. It's on a little tiny ball joint. What I like, though, is the head is actually like a little rhinoceros head. I think that's really cool. And so here we have Rhinoceros and Ramhorn, and honestly, I like it. It's gold, it's brown. In terms of accuracy to the character, it's fairly close. The red should be a little more, or the brown, whatever you want to call it, should be a little deeper. Now, apparently there's a variant where that is the case, and there's some gray that really should be on the legs of Ramhorn. That's not here. It is on the Japanese version, but then the Japanese version is missing some of the brown that should be on those four legs, paws, whatever you want to call them. So neither one is perfect, but this is definitely in the right ballpark for Ramhorn. Overall, if you know the character, you're going to know it's Ramhorn. I'm going to say that the paint apps, honestly, I'm going to say they're about 9. They're pretty great, to be perfectly honest with you. The little headmaster unit guy, of course, you can put the arms in and close him up again. And he does store in this mode in our Ramhorn. If we take Ramhorn and we look here underneath, I'll get these out of the way. We have a kind of a big space there. We can take the head and it's a tight fit, but the head does go up there and fill in his tummy. And now you'd never know that Rhinoceros is aboard of him. If you try to do it with the head facing out, I find that it just falls out. You really have to do it so that the legs are what's facing out. So it is, you know, I guess it is what it is there. In terms of articulation in this mode, there's not a whole lot. The head can kind of move up and down a little bit because of it can do it a lot because of transformation, but that's another story. The two front legs move together. The back legs can't move back, but they can move forward together as well. So there's not a huge amount of mobility to the guy. I don't know. We said the color was like a 9, but I mean the articulation is a 2 or 3. It's nothing amazing. As with all Titan Masters, of course, he has a couple of different modes. One is a blaster mode, and of course the other is like a tank type of mode. I guess we'll do the blaster mode first, why not? And to do the blaster mode, basically you put that tail piece up and you're going to turn the guy upside down. And then these legs will flip forward. These legs stay straight up and the whole head comes down like this. And it's like, I guess this is supposed to be a bunch of missiles, I suppose. He can, of course, be wielded by anybody that can hold a 5mm peg like this. It only seems fitting for Blaster to hold him. This is my custom FOC Blaster that I looked at way back in episode 307. I also did a custom for a friend of mine. It was kind of an invasive, pricey custom, to be honest with you, of a Siege version of Blaster, and I looked at that one in episode 563. And so I have Rhinoceros kind of taken out of the tummy section, and I have the Blaster laid down. It's upside down from the way the Blaster was holding it, because this is the easiest way to go to our next mode. So we take it from its Blaster form, which was, you know, like this, and we turn it upside down like this. We straighten out those legs, so now we have 4 tank treads. This is very similar to Shuffler. We bring this handle down because I guess that'll be the tank turret. The head we already have up, so we rotate it around, which I think is kind of neat, and then we just bring the whole thing down and forward like that. There's a couple of little peg holes back there for the feet of a Titan Master to go over. Back right here. Assuming I can line this up there, and you kind of have him like that. Now he's a neat little tank. So he doesn't turn into a cassette, but kind of like with the rest of Titan's Return, like with the Rumble, with the Frenzy, with the, you know, Ravage and the Laserbeak and Rewind and all of them, I at least can respect that, you know what, he can kind of go paired with his partner Blaster, especially the FOC Blaster, because the FOC Blaster, while you can mimic a tape mode, he has his own form of transportation and mobility, and now so does this guy. Overall, the transformation, honestly, I like it. It's clever. It's involved enough to be interesting for something this small. The legs are simple, but I kind of like the flip-de-doos and things you do with the head. I'm going to say it's about an 8. I think it's clever. That's what I think. And here we have my Blaster with Ramhorn and Rhinoceros. I don't know. I think that they're a nice-looking little trio. I think it turned out pretty good overall. As someone who totally missed out on the Fall of Cybertron Ramhorn and never had any version of the character, and really wanted this and looked for him ardently for a long time, Starscream Wife can attest to that, and never found him, I feel very, very happy to have him. Overall score with a 10, an 8, and about we'll say a 3 for the articulation, because that's not where he shines. Overall, he's 5 or 6. You know, it's an average Titan Master, but it's a character that I wanted so badly for so long, and I'm so happy to finally add him to my collection. And here we are, and here they are. Look, I totally dig Ramhorn, man. I am totally down for it. I like the Rhinoceros mode. It'd be nice if the legs were independently articulated, but meh. You know, beggars can't be choosers. I love the tank mode, just like I did with Shuffler. I liked it there too. I think it's clever the way that they have enough moving parts here to keep it interesting for something this small. I even like the Blaster mode for this guy because it looks like it would be powerful, as Ramhorn as a Blaster should be if he was going to be a Blaster. And then we get Rhinoceros, the Headmaster Warrior. What an out of left field kind of character to get. But technically this wouldn't be Ramhorn. Technically this would be the Headmaster Warrior Rhinoceros. Maybe one day he'll graduate to being a full-on Headmaster. Great little set, awesome little set. I, again, can't thank Paul enough for kind of setting me up with this. I absolutely dig these guys. Hard to find nowadays, but a great throwback nevertheless. Let me know what you think about Ramhorn and Rhinoceros for that matter. I appreciate you guys coming by and giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can always use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring. Or of course you can just hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us, man. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you do make a difference. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, and we do have episode 11 of season 2 of Universal Collision coming up this coming Friday at 7 Eastern. Or of course you can come here for another visit the old-fashioned way, inside the videos.